So, good morning, everyone. It's quite an honor to speak in here. I know you are so amazing leaders. During this 3 days talk, I'm really amazed by each of your talk, and I believe most of the people here is a leader about education. So I'm sure you are quite curious on creativity, I believe. And trust me that, I'm quite seriously chasing what is creativity until now. So, yeah, slightly let me introduce about me. I'm a designer from Japan and currently working as the president of Japan Industrial Design Association, and also working as the board of World Design Organization. So anyway, I'm a designer and sometimes teaching in the universities. So anyway, I'm a designer from Japan, so I hope you would endure infamous Japanese English. So yeah, let me skip. I supposed to have 30 minutes, but it seems that I only have 20 minutes today. So let me skip most of the part of today's presentation, like what I designed before. Slightly I introduced, but I'm running Designer, the design firm, and sometimes working for decarbonization for making applications, or the instrumental biochar, or renewable energy services, climate change adaptation structure or platform, or lighting. Let me skip. Oh, yeah, this may be, that every, 3D printed moon is actually the copycat of my design. Maybe you can find in the street. But anyway, I'm often working for example, disaster prevention, COVID-19, and let me skip most of the part of my design today. Later, in CXO 2.0, I will have the panel discussion from 4 o'clock in today. So if you are interested for design part of me, please join CXO 2.0. So yeah, it's kind of long. This is my office. This is my office, which is made of the debris which was generated on site when the past tenant was demolished. So trust me, I'm quite serious about creativity. But what is creativity actually? It's kind of really, really tricky phenomena in the history of living organism. Because, and also, there are so many, I believe that's a misunderstanding, but creativity is often viewed like something given and cannot be taught, even like amazing educators. But I believe not. You can nurture creativity. I think you already know that. But how to do it? What is the fundamental way of teaching it? I'm a designer, so I really want to be a good designer. Of course, hopefully the best designer. And I keep trying to do it. I got, but anyway. But now I can say that you can learn totally. And actually, for example, generating idea, I could not do it in the beginning. But I kept trying, and I found methodology. And now, thankfully, I got more than 150 hours. Anyway, creativity is really, really tricky phenomena. Since, as I said, it's only, human being is, as of now, fluently doing. Like several 10 million of species are there, and only Homo sapiens, we are designing microphone, clicker, the conference. So it's kind of strange. But as well, our difference between chimpanzee is very few percent in DNA. So it's kind of quite strange. And also, one other strange thing is that, even Homo sapiens has about 200,000 years of history. But you can observe design, especially the combination of the material or product, like bow and arrow, is happening only maybe this 70,000 years. The point is, only 1/3 of the history of us is designing. So that is not the talent, of course, because 2/3 of the history of people, if you say they have no talent, you cannot say, right? So it's not talent. And I found, I felt that there is structure, like, there are many of innovators are there. And of course, they are genius, you can say. But sometimes, there's pattern. Like, for example, he tried to integrate, steam engine inside of the glider. He as well, like, he implemented engine and also erased hose from hose car in a way. So integrate or erase or flip or, move to the different place or segregate to, make it minimize something. Or, sometimes integrate or erase the button from the mobile phone. So there's some pattern. So, and also we have so many of challenges. So we really need to be creative because, we are now facing the great extinction, thickest time in the history of the Earth. And as well, we are facing so many disasters happening and many challenges happening. And also we have AI. So we can be more creative, but we need to face more challenges. And we are nurturing creative students, all of us, right? And I believe the power of education. Have you ever counted how many projects you can do in the life? I counted about 500. If you multiple 50 years and 10 projects, that is the number of the capacity of your life to do some project. But if you change education, the number of the people nowadays is already 7 billion. So if you change slightly about education, more creative way, maybe the impact is billion innovation. So education is really important. And we are now living a quite amazing life. Like the lifespan is getting double and you can buy everything in the street. But you don't have to think where it's come from and where it go. So we cannot continue. So we need to change. We need to design the new way. So actually creativity matters. And as a designer, I searched for the hint in nature because, nature looks like the better designer than me, right? So, and, as a designer, I captivated the phenomena which called evolution, adaptive evolution. And, this is from my exhibition that, I compared carefully what is the similar between evolution and human creativity. This is the phylogeny or evolutionary map of mobility. It's quite a similar thing happening. So in my conclusion, maybe you can say creativity is a kind of evolution. Because there's no phenomenon which is assimilated to creativity is happening in the history of living life form other than evolution. So I tried. So since then, I tried to assimilate the way of creativity, learning the methodology of creativity from biological evolution. And I kind of get into the difficult books and books and books. Even I'm a designer. So I started this methodology, evolutional creativity, and now teaching this method. This book, became a book, and thankfully that this book got Amazon's bestseller on business in Japan, and translated in Chinese and Korean and Indonesian, but not yet in English, and not yet in any European languages. So I'm here genuinely for finding friends, for spreading this idea in the US or your countries. I'm teaching these methodologies to many companies like Toyota, Sony, or Honda, or Panasonic, or such kind of for natural innovators, and teaching some universities as well. Anyway, let me dive into the topic. Have you ever, please remind when you got the idea. What kind of experience was that? Like you would like to be, you are trying to be creative and finding new ideas. In a way, you need to be crazy, right? You need to be different from others, because existing idea is not creative. At the same time, such crazy new idea, if it's just crazy, then that's not good idea, right? It needs to be good in some situation. So it needs to be adapted in a way. So for example, ideation is about how to be crazy, and observation is about how the crazy ideas fit into the situation. So we are kind of having two-sided, right? Like using random error for making new ideas. And as well, finding some necessity on that ideas. And that is exactly the natural selection is about, which is founded by Charles Darwin in more than 150 years ago. And this is a kind of brief diagram of natural selection. Yeah, I think you may already know, but let me slightly explain. The mutation is the phenomena that you and your brother has some slight differences. And also, it will make variation. Like here, we have, diverse of people, and it's happening in every species. And that is a kind of contingent process. Like that is the era of copying DNA. And if there is, for example, you cannot tell who is good here, and you don't have to tell. But if, for example, in giraffe, if the ecosystem is not changing quite long time, like million years, and if the higher height has a kind of better ratio for reproduction, then within million of time or million of individuals, the average will change, and getting giraffe higher and higher. That is so-called adaptation. It's happening not only height, but also eyesight and the strength of the kick of giraffe, right? So that is adaptation. So you can say the vertical line is the conclusion or result, and the horizontal line is the process. So actually, in this process, there is no perfection. Because it's because of the random error. So the error need to keep happening. And as well, within quite a long time, it will be adapted. And my point is actually, this is what we are doing inside of our head. Like we need to be crazy, like mutative way. And we need to be necessary, like natural selective way. And so we need to be idiot, and we need to be prodigy in a way. And if it's about creativity, if the structure is totally the same, every educator need to be careful how to deal with contingent errors, because error is often our enemy to manage the classroom. But I know you are great leaders, so I know you are knowing the power of errors, right? So that is the point, because error is quite meaningful for creativity. And as well, you need to teach how to observe necessity behind of the phenomena. So today, but let me skip already, I have 4 minutes. So today, I hope this will be a kind of inspiration for you, but I structurized how many ways to be crazy. And I found 9 patterns, which is actually you can observe not only every design or art or such artificial object, but also in the evolution in nature. Actually, there's a mutual pattern. Oneness, and the reason why such mutual pattern is happening is actually because of the structure of language and DNA. This is my hypothesis. So Bible is right. The Word was a God. And for example, the pattern like changing size and weight. For example, let's think of classroom, like 2 big classroom, 2 small classroom. Classroom looks like pyramid. Something shapes something. Classroom without teachers. Classroom, there's 60 teachers at the same time. Classroom which resides in the pyramid again. Maybe here. And classroom switch student to the teacher. Classroom separate class and room. Classroom is getting room class. And classroom which integrate curry restaurant. Often curry, we Japanese also integrate udon and curry together. So anyway, there is kind of observable 9 patterns. Of course, I don't know if this is kind of everything, but you can nurture some part of ideation with these patterns if you use. And also, today's theme is more to say like this is also important, but more I believe important for you is how to teach observation. I found, I try to find how many observation actually is there. There are so many observations are there, right? In economy, in sciences, in the classroom. But my conclusion, I counted how many observations I'm doing during designing. And my conclusion is only 4. Because what we can observe is only space and time. And about space, you can observe inside and outside. And in time, the past and the future. And I structuralized how many observations are there in natural science. And amazingly, it fits quite well. Like every natural scientists are doing exactly this kind of, structure. Like, for example, anything can be inside. Of course, any animal, any living organisms inside. But as well, like, you can observe generally everything. Like, you can put building, microphone. For example, I'm just told to the Sony's headphone, headphone developers, manufacturers, producers last week, and they observed headphone with this platform, not platform, but framework. The point is, you can nurture such each of the process of observation, because there is already quite structured system and also methodology inside of natural science. Not from me, but already we are using it 300 years or 1,000 years. But we are not teaching it. These are only like the jargon. But it's really important to know what is the form and what is function or how to make it, like anatomists are doing in morphology or physiology or embryology. As well, it's really important to know history for knowing variation like taxonomy or comparative anatomy or phylogeny. Or also, we need to know what kind of world we are living and how it's functioning, like ecologists. And also, we need to know more about how to use data, and also how to envision it. And I'm sure AI will help this field very, very well. So we are the best time to teach creativity now, because we are aided by AI, and also we have challenges. So I hope each one of you, with me and each one of you would try nurturing the next innovators in this age, because that's necessary to survive. And also, not only for us, but also we need to kind of found the relationship between the other species and the nature as well. And if the methodology of nurturing creators and educations is fit to the way to observe nature, we can naturally connect these. Like, we cannot see the societies only for us, because we are inside of the ecology. So, I wish we can nurture next creators together in somewhere in the world. Thank you very much. By the way, I have a small gift for almost everyone for you. So please find me later in somewhere to talk more about it. Thank you.